Hi, this is Sharon with Dating Again and LovingAgainCoach.com. Today I'm going to talk about my 5 big C's of relationships. This is how I recommend you structuring your relationship. So let's get started. The first one is chemistry. Chemistry is our pheromonal response. That's what makes us attracted to another person. This is why we want to hold hands or hug someone or kiss someone or even just spend time with somebody. This is our physical connection. So chemistry should never be forced. If you're dating someone great, you know they're great, and not a lot of great people come along, this is not the time to force the chemistry. A lot of times it just won't be there. So don't force it, but enjoy the chemistry. Number 2 is connection. So when I talk about connection, of course people relate connection with chemistry. This is when I talk about things in common. Of course, you want the same religious views. Of course, you want the same financial views and probably the same views on raising children, things you need to talk about while you're dating, right? Well, I'm talking about taking it a step further than that. And this is the nuts and bolts of a relationship, especially if you're both empty nesters. Are your things in common, the things that is going to take up your time so that you're not just sitting around staring at each other. I tell people all the time, your connection needs to be good so that you're not sitting around trying to make schmoopy faces at each other all day. That's only going to last like a month after you're married. So this is that you like the same books. This is you like tandem bike riding, you both like hiking, you both like traveling, you both like the ocean or the mountains, or you're both really willing to try what the other person is doing. But this needs to be found out while you're dating. Okay, the next one is contact. Don't we love our contact? This is all your affection. So I say connection before affection because we know once the affection starts, we kind of get all goofy, right? Plus, we're producing all those great attachment hormones, so we're getting attached to a person maybe that we don't have enough in common with, that there's not enough glue to keep it together. So you really want to be careful with the connection before affection. Now, people argue with me all the time. That could take a really long time. And it really doesn't have to, because hopefully you're communicating between dates. Hopefully you're on the phone. That's one of my big things, is talk to people on the phone, because you get a really good idea of who they are on the phone. People let their hair down a little bit on the phone, and they're more themselves. So hopefully that's happening between dates. So between date 3 and 5, you may know all this stuff. You may know that you're like a perfect match as far as interests and hobbies go. So it doesn't take that long, but I do recommend it, because really those rose-colored glasses are really thick after you start hugging and kissing and other things. So that would be our contact. Next is communication and conflict resolution. Okay, communication. I'm not going to say communication should be easy, because communication sometimes is hard no matter who you are. But if communication is hard because the other person has a bad temper or is quick-tempered, that is a really bad sign. If communication is hard because you're really nice and you don't want to hurt their feelings, that's a different story. But you do need to come into some kind of communication style with that person. Maybe ask them, how would you like me to address things, if issues come up, and, you can exchange that information. But it is important that you come up with some kind of communication style before a commitment. Now, conflict resolution, I've put those together because conflict resolution does require a lot of communicating, but I want you to figure out your conflict resolution style before you make a commitment. This is how we're going to resolve conflicts. We're going to both settle down and we're going to sit down at the table and discuss it like adults, or we're going to go away from the kids and go out to the car and discuss it and not raise our voices or whatever. If you ask somebody what their preferred conflict resolution style would be, I'm sure they're not going to say yelling and screaming and slamming doors, right? So talk about it before you make a commitment. Okay, our next one is commitment. Our last C is commitment. So if you've done all these things and you kind of know the person really well and things are going well and you're not afraid of them because of their bad temper, communication's going all right, commitment is a good idea, always, right? Just make sure that commitment means the same thing to both of you, that you're both on the same page with commitment, that you both agree on all the aspects of what the commitment means. Very, very important. If it differs, there's going to be a lot of problems, right? All right, that was my 5 big C's. Hopefully that has been helpful. Of course, you can always follow me on Facebook at Dating Again and Instagram at dating.again. If you liked this video, go ahead and hit that like button. And of course, subscribe to my channel, and I will see you soon.